If you look around, you'll be able to find out how we have transformed nature into resource obtaining directly and indirectly from the forest and wildlife. Most of the items such as wood, barks, leaves, etc. all are coming from the forest. We are getting, or we can say exploiting these items without any planning or strategies from the forest. That's why only we are responsible for depleting our forest and wildlife. Without our forest, we just can't imagine about the wildlife, because wild means jungle or forest. So without the forest or jungle, no species can survive in this world. Or we can't imagine about the biodiversity or ecological balance. Forest and wildlife both makes the biodiversity. Both are the two faces of a single coin. Thus, both are interrelated and interlinked. But day by day, we are exploiting these resources and creating an imbalance in nature.
Hello everybody. I heartily welcome all of you to join today's lesson. Today we are going to discuss about the importance of biodiversity. Besides the huge variety of vegetation, the wildlife is also found to be equally rich and varied in our country. Actually, there is a strong correlation between fauna and flora. ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੰਗਲੀ ਜੀਵ ਜੰਤੂਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 76,000 ਸਪੀਸ਼ੀਜ਼ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਗਭਗ 2,546 ਕਿਸਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੱਛੀਆਂ, 1,232 ਕਿਸਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੰਛੀ, 456 ਕਿਸਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੱਪ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਐਂਫੀਬੀਅਨਸ, ਰੈਪਟਾਈਲਸ, ਮੈਮਲਸ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਕਈ ਛੋਟੇ ਕੀੜੇ ਮਕੌੜੇ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਪੀਸ਼ੀਜ਼ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨਿਰਭਰ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ, ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਕਈ ਸਪੀਸ਼ੀਜ਼ ਕ੍ਰਿਟੀਕਲ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕਈ ਲੋਕ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਬਾਇਓਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ। ਕਈ ਸਪੀਸ਼ੀਜ਼ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਕਗਾਰ ਤੇ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਕਈ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਾਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਓ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਦੇ ਲਰਨਿੰਗ ਆਬਜੈਕਟਿਵਸ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰ ਲਈਏ।
On completion of this topic, learners will be able to define biodiversity, describe the role of biodiversity in ecosystem, describe the scientific and medicinal importance of biodiversity, describe the role of biodiversity in the environment stability, discuss the economic benefits of biodiversity.
Nature can feed everybody's need, but it cannot feed everybody's greed. This quotation is already given by Mahatma Gandhi. This quotation is completely fit in present scenario. Today, about only 1% of the total species exists on this planet. The present rate of extinction is nearby 0.1% per year. For the extinction of species, mainly human beings and its allied activities are responsible. It may create an ecological crisis. It may also threaten the whole life support system. The large number of habitats and species, both plant and animal, have been progressively on the decline. Thus, there is a vital need to control the human-induced activities. Otherwise, human beings may be in the queue of extinct category. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਦੀ ਤੇਜ਼ ਪ੍ਰਕਿਰਿਆ ਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਜੀਵ ਜੰਤੂਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਈ ਜਾਤੀਆਂ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਅੱਜ ਮਨੁੱਖ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਗਤੀਵਿਧੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਲੀ ਜਾਂ ਇਨਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਲੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਪੀਸ਼ੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਐਕਸਟੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਜਾਂ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣ ਲਈ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰ ਹੈ। ਮਨੁੱਖ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜੀਵ ਜੰਤੂਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਜਾਤੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੀਸਾਈਡ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। Here I know that you are well known about speciescide, but not about genocide. Okay, let me explain. Genocide is basically the destruction of the gene of a particular living being or to destroy the fetus of the living being. Thus, speciescide and genocide Both poses threat to the biodiversity. But before going ahead, we should clear about the biodiversity. So let's explain the term biodiversity. Biodiversity is the variation of life forms within a given ecosystem, biome, or for the entire earth. Or in simple words, we can say a large number and wide range of species of animals, plants, fungi, and microorganisms which live all together is known as biodiversity. Biodiversity is often used as a measure of the health of biological systems. The biodiversity found on Earth today consists of many millions of distinct biological species. It is the product of nearly 3.5 billion years of evolution. No one can imagine a situation if penicillium had been eliminated from Earth before mankind made use of it as an antibiotic. You just imagine your life without cinchona. As we know, quinine was discovered as a cure for malaria from cinchona. It is therefore we have to conserve our plant, animal, and microorganism wealth. There is an urgent need to conserve the biological diversity. Let's make more clear why it is precious to us. Biodiversity has great importance to mankind due to its many uses. ਸਾਰੇ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ ਆਰਗੈਨਿਜ਼ਮਸ, ਫੂਡ ਚੇਨ, ਫੂਡ ਵੈਬਸ ਅਤੇ એનર્ਜੀ ਫਲੋ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਸਪੀਸ਼ੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਵਿਨਾਸ਼ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਾਤਾਵਰਣ ਦੇ ਸੰਤੁਲਨ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਗਾੜ ਦੇਵੇਗਾ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸੱਪਾਂ ਦੇ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣ ਨਾਲ ਚੂਹਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਧਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ ਜੋ ਫਸਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮਾਸਾਹਾਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ਾਕਾਹਾਰੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਧਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ ਜੋ ਵੈਜੀਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਪਹੁੰਚਾ ਕੇ ਇਕੋਲੋਜੀਕਲ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਗਾੜ ਦੇਣਗੇ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪੌਦਿਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਜਾਨਵਰਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਪੀਸ਼ੀਜ਼ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਦੀ ਆਬਾਦੀ ਅਤੇ ਭੋਜਨ ਲੜੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਰੱਖਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਾਈਲਡਲਾਈਫ এনवायरमेंट ਨੂੰ ਸੈਲਫ ਸਸਟੇਨਿੰਗ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਹਾਇਕ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਈਕੋਸਿਸਟਮ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਭੋਜਨ, ਹਵਾ, ਮਿੱਟੀ ਅਤੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ-ਨਾਲ ਸੋਇਲ ਫਰਟੀਲਿਟੀ, ਹਵਾ ਅਤੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਪਿਉਰੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ, ਫਲੱਡ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਅਤੇ ਡਰਾਟ ਤੋਂ ਬਚਾਅ ਵਰਗੀਆਂ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ এনवायरमेंटल ਡਿਜ਼ਾਸਟਰਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਬਚਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ। Biodiversity is required for maintaining and sustainable use of goods and services from ecosystems. These services are maintenance of gaseous compositions in atmosphere, pollination, formation of soil, nutrient cycling, and climate are controlled by forests and oceanic systems. Do you know, for the soil maintenance, nutrient cycling and waste management, etc., we spend 16 to 54 trillion US dollars per year. These are automatically completed in the biodiversity rich region. As we know, several ecosystems are interlinked in a biodiversity region, so it requires the genetic variability. Otherwise, it can be destroyed by a single cause and there will be no other option or alternative food for the other particular species. Overall, we can say that it is highly precious for our existence. It is well known that every particular thing has its own significance, and everything or every species has its own importance. So let's know about the scientific importance of the biodiversity.
Scientific importance. Wildlife acts as a source of gene bank for breeding programs in agriculture, animal husbandry, fisheries, etc. Several animals are used as research materials on which drugs are tested before applying to mankind. Plant breeders have produced a number of high-yielding and disease-resistant varieties from their wild relatives by genetic modifications.
So there is an urgent need to protect wildlife for breeding experiments. The wildlife acts as a source for new varieties. The protection of wildlife becomes of prime importance for their survival and propagation of race. That's why man is constantly in search of ways and means of preserving natural areas in their natural conditions to promote the development of wildlife. Do you know, due to this genetic diversity, man was able to save the high-yielding varieties of rice from a new rice pest, Neela parvata lugens, or brown plant hopper. It happens due to introducing the pest-resistant gene in them from a few wild varieties found in Kerala. Similarly, wild rice or Oryza nivara provided resistance against grassy stunt virus in 1970s, when virus-resistant gene was incorporated in IR36 rice variety. Wild thatch grass or Saccharum spontaneum provided resistant gene to sugarcane against red rot disease. Similarly, in potato, resistant gene against late blight disease has been incorporated from a wild variety, Solanum demissum. Thus, the production of high-yielding disease-resistant crops, livestock and fish cannot survive without their wild relatives. So, it has the enormous importance in the scientific way. As we know, health is wealth. Healthy life is our prime motto. Everybody wants to live healthy. But the question is, how can we live healthy? As our environment is getting polluted day by day, and the pollution has entered through food in our body. So how can we live healthy? It is obvious we fall sick. As we belong to a developing nation, so we do not have enough money to spend on our health. And around 2/3 population belongs to the rural areas where even primary health centers are not easily accessible. So how can they take medicine from the doctors or from the hospitals? That's why the people of India are depending on nature for their health. Do you know, the Indian people have a tremendous passion for medicinal plants because from a common cold to memory improvement and treatment of poisonous snake bites to enhancement of body's immunity, most of the medicines are directly or indirectly a byproduct of forests or plants. In the simple manner, we can say that most of the drugs and medicines are coming out as the byproduct of forests. ਸੰਸਾਰ ਦੀ 75% ਆਬਾਦੀ ਪੌਦਿਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਪੌਦਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਣੀਆਂ ਦਵਾਈਆਂ ਤੇ ਨਿਰਭਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪੌਦਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਕੁਝ ਦਵਾਈਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਉਦਾਹਰਨਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਨ। Morphine is extracted from Papaver somniferum, painkiller ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਰਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। Quinine is extracted from Cinchona legeriana, malaria ਦੇ ਇਲਾਜ ਲਈ ਵਰਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। Taxol extracted from bark of Taxus brevifolia and Taxus baccata, ਇਹ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦੇ ਇਲਾਜ ਲਈ ਵਰਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। Penicillin ਨੂੰ ਐਂਟੀਬਾਇਓਟਿਕ ਵਜੋਂ ਵਰਤਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੋ Penicillium fungus ਤੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। There are several other plants which are directly used as the medicines. A few examples of such plants are basil or tulsi, winter cherry or ashwagandha, Bacopa monnieri, which is also known as Brahmi, and isabgol, etc., used as medicine.
Drugs and medicine. Azadirachta indica, or in Indian language it is popular as neem. We all are familiar that neem is highly medicinal plant and found all over India. It is also known as divine tree, nature's drugstore, village pharmacy and solution for all diseases. It is an Ayurvedic herbal medicine. It has antibacterial and antifungal characteristics. Thus, it is multi-purpose tree. Another tree is Acacia nilotica or babool. This tree provides gum and bark. Its bark is used to treat diarrhea, dysentery and leprosy. The bruised leaves are used to treat ulcer and root for tuberculosis. The bark is useful as toothpaste ingredient. Our next important tree is Terminalia, or in Indian language it is known as Arjun. Its bark contains calcium and tannins. Its bark is very useful for heart diseases and bringing down high pulse rate to normal. You might have heard about the Indian gooseberry or amla. It is very rich in vitamin C. It is also very helpful to improve our immune system. Baheda, harad, khair, ratanjot, etc. are generally used directly as the medicine.
Do you know, students, in ancient times, India was entirely dependent on herbal medicines for healthcare. You might have heard about the Ayurveda. The popular book of Ayurveda is Charak Samhita. This book contains the prescriptions of treating very complex diseases. India was the leader in healthcare through Ayurveda. Overall, we can say medicinal plants are wealth of a country. They play a significant role in providing primary healthcare services to rural people. It is popular due to low cost, no side effect, and easily available at affordable price. So it is best suited for developing countries like India. So it is not a hyperbole that trees are just like doctors for the rural areas. Apart from medicines, plants provide another important material, that is food. Food is one of the most common output of biodiversity. It is obtained from several sources such as livestock, forestry and fish. Most of our foodstuff is supplied from the biodiversity either in the form of crop, fruit or flesh. Let's explore more about food.
Food. Terrestrial animals, meanwhile, supply an array of food products, that is, eggs, milk, meat, etc. Wild biodiversity provides a wide variety of important foodstuffs, including fruits, meats, nuts, mushrooms, honey, spices, and flavorings. These wild foods are especially important when agricultural supplies fail. Indeed, wild biodiversity guards against the failure of even the most advanced agricultural systems. Biodiversity in modern agriculture is highly beneficial to us. It provides source material for genetic breeding for crops. It provides a source of new biodegradable pesticides. It is source of new crops. Plants provide food not only for themselves but also for other organisms including man. About 20 plant species are used which provide about 85% of world's food.
Overall, we can say three major crops, rice, wheat and maize, and few animal species such as pigs, sheep, goats and chickens contribute as a major chunk of our calories and protein. Without these species, we can't survive even a single day. So we can say this biodiversity provides food for us with the wider varieties of the choices. It has a tremendous importance in industrial sector. Let's know more about the industrial importance of the biodiversity.
Industrial importance. Fur, skin and other products like musk, leather, honey, pearls, etc. obtained from wild animals are sources of trade. Ivory of elephants, horns of rhino, antlers of deer, etc. fetch large amount of foreign currency. Several wild plants provide useful products like timber, paper, gums, resins, dry fruits, fibers such as cotton, jute, and drinks such as tea, coffee is obtained by the biodiversity. It is not enough regarding biodiversity. We got the distillation products like wood alcohol, charcoal, and medicines, etc. from biodiversity.
Overall, we can say that most of the industries getting their raw material from the forest either in the form of animal, plants or in the form of bacteria and fungus. As we know, industries are the backbones of every country, and most of the industries are based on the forest and the animals. Thus, it is not a myth that richest biodiversity means strongest nation. Apart from the industrial importance, it also has the aesthetic and cultural importance. Let's explore about it. Due to their beauty, many birds, variously colorful butterflies, mammals, green forests, etc., have great aesthetic value to human beings. Aesthetic pleasure derived from biodiversity includes bird watching, pet keeping, and gardening or wildlife sanctuaries, etc. Many plants are considered sacred and even worshipped in India, such as peepal and tulsi. While khejri tree is worshipped in Rajasthan, many animals like cow, etc. are worshipped by Hindus. Many birds and snakes are also worshipped on Nag Panchami. The value put to aesthetic function of nature is reflected in creation of millions of small home gardens. Community gardens are also known as botanical gardens, zoos, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, aquariums. These are established in different states for conserving the biodiversity. These spots are also used for the recreation. Let's explore more about it.
Recreation. A visit to sanctuaries and national parks is a thrilling experience. Some animals are used for recreation purpose in circus shows, zoo, etc. These wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, zoos, botanical gardens, and many more biodiversity spots are used as recreational spots. These spots help to generate income also.
Apart from the sports and entertainment, biodiversity has religious importance also. Let's know about the same.
Religious importance. Different animals are symbolized as the vahanas of Hindu gods and goddesses. For example, Garuda for Lord Vishnu, bull for Lord Shiva, mouse for Ganpati, peacock for Subramaniam, tiger for goddess Durga, etc. There are many animal gods as well, like Matsya, Narsimha and Hanuman are quoted in our religious books. Even nowadays we worship the cow, snake and elephant. It depicts that biodiversity has the religious importance.
From the anthropocentric point of view, biodiversity provides several benefits. Some species might have enormous economic, medicinal and ecological value from future point of view. Let's discuss the economic point of view. ਜੈਵਿਕ ਵਿਭਿੰਨਤਾ ਭਾਵ ਬਾਇਓਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਕਈ ਲਾਭ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਲਾਭ ਕਈ ਪਦਾਰਥਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਕਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਪਦਾਰਥ ਸਿੱਧੇ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੇਚੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ। ਇਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਦਾਰਥਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਘਰੇਲੂ, ਐਗਰੀਕਲਚਰਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ, ਮੈਡੀਸਿਨਸ, ਫਾਈਬਰਸ ਸਭ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ। ਬਾਇਓਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਜੈਨੇਟਿਕ ਸਟੋਰ ਹਾਊਸ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਬਾਇਓਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਮਿੱਟੀ, ਪਾਣੀ ਅਤੇ ਹਵਾ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁੱਧਤਾ ਬਣਾਈ ਰੱਖਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣੀਏ। Natural ecosystems also help to absorb the waste we create and render them non-toxic. Wetlands are large filters which purify fresh water and remove heavy metals and other contaminants from it. We often depend on rivers to flush away and break down the sewage and effluents that we put into them. We again depend on the array of small and large organisms that decompose and transform waste in water. Soil organisms can slowly decompose food items, paper products and other waste produced by human activities.
Wetland ecosystems such as swamps, marshes, etc. absorb and recycle essential nutrients. It is very helpful to treat sewage and cleanse waste. In estuaries, molluscs remove nutrients from the water. it helps to prevent over-enrichment. It can also solve the problem of eutrophication, which is generated due to fertilizer runoff. Trees and forest soils purify water as it flows through forest ecosystems. Forests can prevent the rivers and reservoirs from siltation that may arise from erosion and landslides. The activity of microbes such as bacteria, algae, fungi, mites, worms, and animal species helps to regenerate the soil. They all help in conditioning the soil by breaking down organic matter and releasing essential nutrients to plants. These processes play a key role in the cycling of nitrogen, carbon, and phosphorus between the living and non-living parts of the biosphere.
Do you know vegetation helps to recycle moisture into the atmosphere? A single rainforest tree in its 100 years lifespan can transfer approximately 2.5 million gallons from soil to air. Thus, the role of biodiversity in water cycle is very crucial. Now it is clear that plant species purify the air and regulate the composition of the atmosphere, recycling vital oxygen and filtering harmful particles resulting from industrial activities. Biodiversity also helps to control the pests. Around 99% of potential crop pests are controlled by a variety of other organisms, including insects, birds, and fungi. It also helps in climate stabilization. Let's explore how. Plant tissues and other organic materials within land and ocean ecosystems act as repositories of carbon. It helps to slow the buildup of atmospheric carbon dioxide, which is helpful in climate stabilization. An ecosystem directly affects the regional and local weather patterns. If there is a continuous rainfall occurring, then the forest trees absorb the water and reduce the surface runoff. It also controls the surface climate. It will recharge the groundwater level. Overall, it helps to maintain the ecosystem. In cold climates, meanwhile, forests act as insulators and as windbreaks, helping to mitigate the impacts of freezing temperatures.
A rich biodiversity prevents us from natural disasters. Forests and grasslands protect landscapes against erosion, nutrient loss, and landslides through the binding action of roots. An ecosystem helps to regulate and control the flooding rivers in floodplain forests and wetlands areas. It also helps to absorb excess water and thus reduce the damage caused by floods. Forests maintain proper gaseous concentrations in the atmosphere and prevent rapid climate changes. Drastic changes in the Earth's atmosphere can have catastrophic effects such as global warming and melting ice caps.
ਬਾਇਓਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਮੌਸਮ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਹਾਇਕ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਜੇ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਗਤੀਵਿਧੀਆਂ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ। ਇਸ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋੜ ਅਤੇ ਮੰਗ ਦੇ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਾਇਓਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਪੋਟੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣੀਏ। While there are hundreds of examples of known economic and aesthetic benefits of biodiversity, biologists and other scientists frequently outline that more is unknown than known. Important ecosystem services and uses of plants and animals are still unknown and await discovery. While species mainly have certain benefits which are still not known to us and may become known in future. So the conservation of even non-beneficial species is equally significant. For example, isolation of penicillin from Penicillium notatum, anti-malarial drug quinine from the bark of Cinchona plant of Peru. But nowadays, These plants have become life-saving plants. Many of our valuable medicines are coming from several wild plant species. Thus, there is a vital need to conserve our biodiversity. And it is our ethical duty to conserve the wildlife for the utilization of coming generations. I hope you all are well familiar about each and every aspect of the importance of biodiversity. Let us recapitulate what we have learned so far. Biodiversity is important to us in several manners. Most of the requirements are fulfilled by the forest and its allied products, means biodiversity. It not only provides the foodstuffs, industrial stuff, medicines, but also helps to generate the economy. It not only controls the climate but also regulate the rainfall and temperature. It also helps to reduce disasters and vulnerabilities. Biodiversity is important for the genetic development. Without the richer biodiversity, we can't succeed to achieve our aim of sustainable life. If we want to achieve the goal of sustainable development, then we have to understand the importance of the biodiversity. As we know that nature can feed everybody's need but cannot feed everybody's greed. So we have to control our desires and think towards the safer future. Now we reach to our destination, means end of today's topic. Here's a quick test for you to find out how much you have actually absorbed. Question 1. What is the present rate of extinction of species? Answer. It is 0.1% per year. Question. What is the use of morphine in our daily life? Answer. It is used as painkiller. Question. What is the use of quinine in our daily life? Answer. It is used as an anti-malaria drug. Next question. Name a fruit which is very rich in vitamin C. The answer is amla. Question. Which grass provided resistant gene to sugarcane against red rot disease? Answer. It is wild thatch grass. Question. Name the technical term in which the species are destroyed by the human interference. And the answer is specied. Next question. From which tree the quinine is extracted? Answer is cinchona. I am confident that you have all scored well. I hope you enjoyed the lesson as much as I did and are looking forward to the next class. Thank you for your attention and see you next time.